on the Datacamp platform, and I'm trying to make use of it to the fullest. You get that now? So I live stream my SQL journey, basically the journey to become a data analyst, trying to show and share with newbie data analysts or data analyst enthusiasts the kind of hard work, the dedication you have to do to actually achieve the skill, the test skill of calling yourself a data analytics person. So I've been doing this consistently for the past 39 days. Today is day 40, and the goal is 100 days. So this will be done without missing a single day, learning no matter how little it is. So that's basically what I do on this channel. So I also share content on Microsoft Excel, focusing on Microsoft Excel currently. So I'm focused on Microsoft Excel and SQL for now. I plan to share content on Power BI and Python also. Along the way. So that is the plan, that is the goal for this channel. You get that now? To sharing tips and tricks with you to become a full blown data analytics person. You get that now? So I'm not a data scientist, not yet. So I don't have the skill or the experience to call myself a data science person. So I'm just a data analytics person. So that's basically what I do on this channel for now. So currently, oh, my camera is not positioned very well. Sorry about that. Uh, So I'm on the Datacamp platform, as I said earlier. So today should be day 40 after completing a couple of lessons today. So I've been consistent. I've been consistent for the past 39 days, and I started live streaming. The idea to start live streaming it came up on the 11th day. So you're actually going to see live stream from day 11, not actually day one. So that's basically what I do on this channel. So I also share tips and tricks to become a successful freelancer. So basically, I've been a freelancer for the past 2, 3, getting close to 4 years, probably 5 years. I've made the calculation. So this is what I do basically for the last 2, 3, 4 years of my life. I say at least 3, 4 years, 5 years of my life. I've been a freelancer, trying to navigate the freelance world. And this 2023 is actually the first year I've decided to become a full-blown freelancer. Uh, Last year, I was a volunteer in an NGO organization called Teach for Nigeria. So my fellowship ended, so I transitioned to becoming a full-blown freelancer working from home. So it has been really, really interesting. And the first year has been really hectic, but thank God I have a coach. I have someone who has been guiding me. I have a mentor who has been showing me the do's and don'ts of freelancing for the past 2, 3 years since I started freelancing. His name is Ben Gadebi, and he has a course currently right now. The course is going to guide you to become a successful freelancer on Upwork, Fiverr, LinkedIn, remote job website, and even using your own social media platform to 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 position yourself for your freelancing business. So the course is called the Freelance Client Magnet course. You get that now? So you can check out the course. I'll leave a link to the course under the YouTube description. You can check it out there. I'll also leave a link to Bengazibi's Twitter account so you can verify, you can vet him and check out his profile. So you can go to Twitter, search for Bengazibi. So this is him. So he has been the one pushing me to freelancing for the past so I started freelancing generally. So he has over 20K followers and lot of testimonials. You can check out his pin tweet. You're going to see a whole lot of testimonials that he has gotten from students all over the world. I'm also his testimonial, so you can check it out. Don't forget to check out the course in the YouTube description. And also support the channel by subscribing to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. And let me share your thoughts with me under the comment section. You get that time. So let me start a couple of lessons today. So before I start, generally, I'll have a couple of weak areas to review. So I would like to review this week Windows function, outer joins, core join, and self joins. Then I'll move to continue the track I was. So I'm currently on the data analysis, the career track of data analyst in SQL. If you've been following along, if this is the first time here, so I'm actually on this track of data analyst in SQL that is coming up. So this track has 11 courses. So I've been able to achieve 5 courses. I'm on the sixth course. So it contains level course and one project to complete. So data analysis in SQL. So this is this here. So there also I also after I finish the data analysis in SQL, I'll also be starting this data analysis in Power BI. Then I'll probably move to data analyst in Python and so on and so forth. But let's focus on it. I have to do data analysis in Power BI because I'm actually preparing for my Microsoft certification exam. So I need to take that track on Power BI, and also I have a couple of resources I'll be using also to compound my knowledge in Power BI. So I'm on the career track. That's 11 courses, one project, over 39 hours. Then you can see I've completed five. So I'm actually on the sixth course. So this is basically where I am. So you can see we have the last course there. Then we have one project to end the course. So I'll just go back to the dashboard and review my weak areas today. So this live stream is always for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maximum of 1 hour. So just make sure I don't overwhelm myself with knowledge and forget everything I've learned. You get that now. So I try to learn as little as possible and be consistent with the learning. So so this will just come up now and I can, oh, I guess I'm not positioned well enough in the camera. This is better now. Let me reload the page. I guess my network. Come on. Oh, is it my network or the Datacamp platform? But I'm taking a look peep at my live stream. The network is pretty strong. It is showing the green check mark for a strong signal here. We are back. So I'll just review these weak areas real quick. I'll just click on start, Windows function. Windows function is part of the last course I took. So can you use the Windows function to calculate partition average temperature for each zip code? So we want to calculate the partitioned average temperature. That should be partitioned by zip code. So it's partitioned by this zip code. So we have date, zip code, maximum temperature, then average. That will be using the over clause there. So we should have the average temperature first there. Then we introduce the over clause, then partition by zip code. So this is using a Windows function, yeah? Okay, let's give it a shot. That should be definitely correct. Oops, we got that. So can you create a rank of days based on extreme weather incident? Here is a preview of the weather table. A rank of days. You want to rank the day. Okay. What is the output of this code? Select the maximum wind MPH. Okay. Date precipitation. They are not showing us this column called maximum wind. This field, but they show the date column. They will rank order by as windy days from weather where maximum wind is greater than zero. We always have the same thing, but limit 5. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five. Two, three, four, five. So they are all five. We say when maximum windy days. You can see this is wrong. We are not selecting precipitation here. This is wrong. So the answer is between the second option and the third option. It says this should be the answer. But it's saying where maximum wind is greater than zero. Rank. Let me use the rank to fish it out. We have one, two, 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 three here. And we have one, two, three, four, five here. The numbers are sequential. But is having four, five, five. Then this should be the correct answer. Because these numbers are wrong. Four, five, five. Four is having. So let's check that. Wow, I feel that definitely the second output is the answer. What is rank? Oh, they're not ranking in descending, so that's why this one is having four, five, five. I should have guessed that. So the mistake I did there was this is ranked. The rank by default will be rank ascending. So this is ranking descending. I didn't figure that out. So that was I figured that out right now. So can you rank soccer matches in 2011 2012 season from highest to lowest by total goal? This is quite different now. Descending. It was stated already from highest to lowest descending. So I could just use can see from highest to lowest by goals. Highest 5 to lowest. So the ranking 7 plus 1 8, 5 plus 2 7, 2 plus 5 7, 3 plus 4 7. So I understand it now. So that should be home goal, away goal. Then rank, the column rank over plus, then order by home goal, away goal descending as ranking, and boom, that should be correct. So can you calculate a running total of minutes spent on bicycle trips per day? Calculate the running total of minutes spent for on bicycle trips per day. So here is a preview of the trips table. We have duration, start date, and start station. Complete the code to return the output. Running total. So that should be unbounded preceding. We just use the sum plus. We want to sum the duration, sum duration, but over plus, then order by start dates, rows between, unbounded preceding, and that should be current row. And we check that. Oops. Which of the following are not options available inside the Windows function? So before and after, rank is available, partition bar is available, row number is available. So it's before and after that is not available in a Windows function. So can you create a rank of days based on a string? Oh, I think this is what I filled earlier. So this is the answer. Alright, I hold up. This is the answer because it was ranked ascending by default. So so I figured that out. Day 40. Oops. The goal is 100 days. So we have 60 more days to go. Wow, that's a long time though. It's not really that long. Because I am actually going to spend 60 more days after today. But the question is, what did I spend that 60 days on? Hmm. I'm just giving you self motivation there. Actually, if I date to be day 100, but what have I achieved Or what have I spent those days on? So that should be the question we should start asking ourselves. 10 days from now to be 20 days. So that 20 days, what have I used it to achieve? What have I spent it? Have I used it? Have I spent those particular days on something beneficial or on something that will that will make me a better person tomorrow? Or have I added to my knowledge or something of sort? We should start asking ourselves those kind of questions. Probably, I know it's good to to enjoy, to flex, to enjoy life, to have fun, but it's not possible to have fun 24/7 though. That's not fun. You can't have fun 24/7 a day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month, or 31 days a month, 65 days a year. That's not possible. So which of the following is a reason to join table with yourself? So to compare, so that is the answer. Compare combination of, so you are working with cities and countries table. Cities, ID, name, country ID, countries. So select the code to return the output. Definitely city table. This should be left join. Correct. I see all the record from the left table. So which join will combine these two tables together to 1456. So we are seeing all the record, all the ID. 1, 2, 3. We are seeing all the ID from the right table, but not all the ID from the left table. We are seeing matching IDs. We are getting audio records from the right table, then matching records from the left table. That should be a right join there. Easy. So which of the following statements is true? A right join can also be written as a left join. Left join are more common than right join. This is correct. A left join always return the same result as a right join. No, that is wrong. They don't return the same result. No, they return different results. One is left, one is right. Day 60. Sorry, day 40. Oh, I just look forward to day 100. What would it feel like? I have no idea. Wow, what's the problem? Web server. This is definitely from Datacamp. Let me just refresh. Oh, this is not fair. Let me open this in a new tab. I think we are back. I'm still getting web server. Wow, not today now. Why? Why this time around? Not on my live stream now. Not right now. Come on, this is not fair. What is wrong with the Datacamp platform? The other page is working fine. Why is there an error on the Datacamp platform? Wow, wow, wow. This is not fair. Actually, I've achieved today's learning streak, but I want to take a couple of lessons, not just practice. I think we are back. Aha, we are back. Open this link, new tab there. I guess it's not easy maintaining a large platform like this with lots of activities going on all over the world. What could be the problem? This is still coming up. Let to check what the problem may be. Oh, this is not good. Let's see if I can troubleshoot this real quick. Let me refresh this one last time. Oh, I think we are back. Aha, it's back fully. Oh, let's refresh it one last time. I'm trying to see. Oh, let's check that out. I think the class we are good to go. Let's see. Let's refresh one last time. I'm just trying to be sure the problem is solved. We are back fully. So we've achieved the fourth learning streak now. So I can just continue from where I stopped. There's nothing for me to review. I've reviewed these two places. Let's continue and take some lessons real quick. So that's the goal, to learn, no matter how little it is. So I'm actually on chapter 2. So I started this chapter yesterday called Working with Date and Time Functions and Operators. So functions for retrieving current date and time. So I practiced this section yesterday and I got a full point for that. Let's see.
Great work! Now we are going to learn how to retrieve and use the current date and time value in your queries at varying levels of precision. As you expand your SQL expertise, one of the most common techniques you'll use is to retrieve the current date and time value in your query. PostgreSQL provides several functions for doing this, and we'll explore a few in this video, beginning with the now function. Now allows
The now function should be similar to the now function, and yeah, the now function in Excel. There's a now function in Excel, so that I could take my knowledge of Excel and bring it into SQL also. And that's why those data analytics tools, these data analytics tools are they're interwoven. If you quickly understand one very well, the knowledge is easily transferable to the other. Like if you know Excel very well, the chances that you understand Power BI is high. You get that now. Same thing with SQL, same with Python.
you to retrieve a timestamp value for the current date and time at the microsecond precision with time zone. Many times
So the other function in Excel is today. If I just remember that is today function.
you will want to retrieve the current timestamp without the time zone. You can do this by explicitly casting it as seen in this example. Casting allows you to convert one data type to another such that columns stored in your database can be retrieved and output as a different type. There are a couple of ways you can cast data in your queries. We saw how to cast the timestamp returned by the now function on the previous slide by adding 2 colons followed by the new type name. This syntax, which uses the double colon operator, is specific to PostgreSQL and non-conforming to the SQL standard. You can also use the cast function to achieve the same result by specifying the column name, or in this case, the now function, followed by the type name. PostgreSQL provides alternative methods for retrieving the cast function to achieve the same result by specifying which uses the double colon operator is specific to PostgreSQL and non-conforming to the SQL standard. You can also use the cast function to achieve the same result by specifying the column name, or in this case, the now function, followed by the type name. PostgreSQL provides alternative methods for retrieving the current date and time values. The current timestamp function returns the same result as of the now function as you see in this example, and either approach can be used pretty much interchangeably in your queries. One difference between current timestamp and now is that with current timestamp, you can specify a precision parameter as you see in the example, which will cause the result to have the seconds rounded to the number of fractional digits specified. Sometimes you want to get the current date or time, but don't require the precision of a timestamp. In these instances, you can use the current date and/or current time functions to achieve this. In this example, the current date function will return a date value without the time. Additionally, you can use the current time function to get the time value with time zone without the date value, as seen in this example. In the exercises, you'll get some experience on how to retrieve the current timestamp and use what you learned in the previous video to do some arithmetic operations with these results.
Okay, let's practice. So we use the console to explore the now, current time, and current date, and current time stamp, current date, and current time function, and their outputs, to determine which of the following is not correct. Okay, can just use okay, use the console to explore the now. I type just now. Is that going to work? I also put in select. Waiting for that to load. I also include select now again. Select now from where? We just close that and run it like this. So that should return the current timestamp on my system. Exactly. Oh, I got the trick now. So today is 2309, 20th of September 2023, and this is actually the timestamp. This is 1904 plus time zone. So now returns the current date and time as a timestamp with time zone. Correct. Let's use the current timestamp. Now, let's say current time stamp. I want to explain that correctly. Or let me just copy it there. See the same thing. Okay. I need to remove the let's find the code. So the current time returns the current timestamp without the time zone. That's not true. It is not the same thing. What I could have done is, okay, let me do it like this. Control C. If I run select here one last time and I use the now, I could actually select that and compare the results. You can see same thing, and I could select this. If you get same results, you got same thing. So this is not correct. This is correct. This is correct. This is not correct. Return the current time zone without the time zone. So current date return the current date value without a time value. Let's see current dates. Let's see current dates. Dates. This is the current date here. So current date return the current date value without a time value. That's correct. Current time. Let's see current time there. Oops, it's not saying current time. Oh, I did this. I also saw current time, not current time P. So current time returns the current time value without a date value. No, wait, it returns the date. So it's not with a date value. So it's really the second option and the last option. So current timestamp returns the current timestamp without the time zone. So this is not correct. So it returns it. So this is the final, this last option. Current time, which returns the time with a date value. So without a date value. So let's submit that. Oh, microsecond. Current time returns the current time value without a date value. It is not a date value, it's a date value now. Oh, hold on, there's no date there. Oh, 1909. Oh, this is the time. So this will be the current time. So return the current timestamp without time zone. This return with a time zone. So definitely is the second. This is a time zone there. Time zone plus. My time zone should be plus one. So this is right now my time zone though. So let's submit that. And we are correct, yes. The current time is analogous with now. So return the timestamp with time zone by default. So now our current time works the same way. This only return the current date without the date. Let me do it one more time just to double check. This only return the dates, nothing else. While current time returns the time only with the time zone. So we got that. So what next is, because the circular database is loading, because the circular database is a bit dated and most of the date and time values are from 2005 or 2006, you are going to practice using the current date and time in our queries without using, you are going to practice using the current date and time in our queries without using circular. That doesn't make sense. You will get back into working with this database in the next video and throughout the remainder of the course. For now, let's practice the techniques we learned about so far in this chapter to work with the current date and time. As we learned in the video, now and current timestamp can be used interchangeably. So use now to select the current timestamp with time zone. Now, that's quite straightforward, familiar on the code. Okay, submit the answer. That's quite straightforward. Select the current time date value without any time value. So select the current date without any time value. That's using current dates. Can use current date for that. Can see current dates. Submit our answer there. Now let's use the cast function to eliminate the time zone from the current timestamp. I use the cast option. Can say, okay, cast, select the current, cast a time zone. Can use the cast option now as can call it anything you like as timestamp. Let's call it timestamp. So without the time zone, to return now the dates, the timestamp without the time zone rather. Okay, that's correct. So just return the time. You can see the time zone plus two or whatever is out of it. So only having the dates and the timestamp to the microseconds. Finally, let's select the current date. This cast will see the same result from now. So select the current dates. Okay. Mm, current dates now be now. Okay, select the current dates. Current dates. Pay attention to the instruction. Current dates. Cast the result of the now and now. Okay, cast. Want to cast the result of the now. So we cast that using now as dates. So if you want this, let's see that. Oops. So this is the current dates. Cast now as now. It's basically returning the same stuff. If I only use now, I will get you with the timestamp. So you don't want it with the timestamp. Oh, cool. And boom. So understood. Quite easy there. Oh, rain is falling right now. Uh, and I bet my network will start acting up. Let me see if I'm almost through with this chapter. Well, I am almost through. Let's see if we can finish this chapter right now. So select the current timestamp without time zone. Without time zone. I can use now there. I use it now and use these double quotes. Or instead of using cast, just say timestamp there. As right, okay, so alias is a right now. This is just an alias. Right, right now. Oh, let's run the code and see. Oh, I didn't wrap my now in parentheses. You can see without the time zone, you just get the time zone from there, and that was pretty straightforward. These are quite simple, that will be useful. So these are quite simple lessons that will be useful. So check the alert to something is wrong. Uh-oh. What's the problem? This now, I'm not supposed to use now here. Current timestamp. Oh, okay. Let's see if it is going to be, I'm going to be using the current timestamp function there. Let's see timestamp. Let's run it out. Ah, so that's what I was supposed to do there. So now select a timestamp. So current timestamp is different from now. Now will only give me I can also use now in place of current timestamp. If I use now, I should get same results. Exactly. So current timestamp as right now. Now select a timestamp 5 days from now. And let's say 5 days from now. Okay. That should be interval. We use the interval of 5 days function there. Interval of 5 days. 5 days. Also have 5 days to be timestamp. So it should be plus current timestamp as 5 days from now. Just copy this. Just paste it here. Let's check that out. You can see this, this date is 20 plus 5. This is 25 days. Interval just added. So I can specify 1 day, 2 days. So that just have to add days together. Just submit that and see. And boom, we got that correctly. So finally, let's use the second level precision with no fractional digits for both the right now and 5 days from now field. So let's use second level precision without fractional. What does it mean by that? So I didn't even read the instruction then. I was supposed to use correct timestamp earlier instead of now. And if you need to convert a date or time value from data type, please use the PostgreSQL cast function. Okay, once you give it precision, so I need to understand this. Okay, finally, let's use the second level precision with no fractional days for both the right now. Okay, no fractional days. No, once we get to these fractional days for both the right now, so that should be using cast now. Sometimes to figure that out. Um, oh, what do we do there? What did I do earlier? I'm supposed to put something here. No hint, no hint. Current timestamp. Are we casting? I don't want to assume we are casting there. Oh, precision. How many number of days? We want to remove the number of days here, the decimal points. Let's see if we use two there. You can figure that out. Mm. So let's use second level precision with no fractional days for both the right now and 5 days tables. So if you put current timestamp and put fractional number of days that we want, I want to understand. So it's going to remove the decimals. So let me go back to one level here. So I run this query. Let's run this query. You are getting fractional number of days here. You can see. So we want to get rid of this fraction here in the other result, but there's no fractional. Okay, there's fractional number of days here also. It's almost the same thing. If I submit that, that is correct. Now let's say finally, let's use the second level precision with no fractional digits for both the right now and second level precision. If I say the fractional digit here is this one here, okay, two decimal places. Let's say two decimal places. Okay, on the code. Okay, this is now two decimal places. Let's see if that's the correct answer. Aha. Good. The alternative to retrieve and manipulate the current date and time is critical skill that you will use often. So I supposed to reduce the number of fractions to two decimal places to give it another level of precision. So this is like saying 19 hour, 22 minutes, 55 seconds, in a fraction of seconds. Counting that is like this. Is it micro, or milliseconds? How like others? But I need to understand putting this on here better in SQL. Well, I'll figure that out later. Let's learn extracting and transforming dates and time dates slash time data.
In a previous video, you learned about the age function and how to use it to calculate the difference between two timestamps. Next, we'll look at some additional built-in functions that will help us transform timestamp and interval data types and create new fields that will help us prepare data for analysis. Let's start by taking a look at how we can use the extract, date part, and date trunc functions to manipulate timestamp data and create new columns by extracting subfields from existing date and time values. This type of data manipulation is useful when the precision of a timestamp is not useful for analysis and you want to use date parts like year or month in your queries, but the underlying data only contains a standard timestamp value. You may also not care about certain precision like time of day in some analyses, and truncating timestamps may be necessary. This is where the extract and date part functions come in very handy. To use these functions in your queries, you will need to pass two parameters, the field identifier and the source. The field parameter is an identifier, or string if you're using datepart, that indicates what subfield that you want to extract from the source. The various field identifiers include year, month, quarter, day of week, etc. The source parameter needs to be a valid timestamp, time, or interval data type. Both extract and datepart will produce identical results and can be used interchangeably with only slight variations in how you pass in the field and source parameters. Now let's get into some examples and see this in action. In our DVD rentals, the field and source.
This is just taking the quarter from this date on the timestamp. This is excluding even the time there. We're only using the date, the quarter from there.
Parameters. Now let's get into some examples and see this in action. In our DVD rentals database, every customer rental has a corresponding record in the payment table, and each transaction is recorded with a timestamp in the payment date column, as the snippet below highlights. This level of detail is certainly necessary for each column. Rental has a corresponding record in the rentals database. Every customer rental has a corresponding record in the payment table, and each transaction is recorded with a timestamp in the payment date column, as the snippet below highlights. This level of detail is certainly necessary for an e-commerce application, but there will no doubt be times when you will want to be able to aggregate this data to use for training a model, reporting, and/or trend analysis. For example, you may want to identify the highest revenue by quarter. To do this, we'll want to aggregate the amount column from the payment table and use the extract function to extract the quarter and year subfields from the payment date column. Here you'll see that we also introduce a technique with the group by clause that allows us to specify the fields in the select clause using a numeric reference, which comes in handy when using functions to derive new columns. And you see the results of the query here, which aggregate the amount column grouped by quarter and year. The date trunc function will truncate timestamp or interval data types to return a timestamp or interval at a specified precision. The precision values are a subset of the field identifiers that can be used with the extract and date part functions. For example, to truncate a date by year, we pass the year identifier as the first parameter of the date trunc function, as you see here, and get the following results. Or we can truncate the same timestamp using month as the parameter and get this result. Unlike these functions,
We'll check that. As we use date truncate year timestamp. This is 2015-05-21. It's going to go back to the first day in the year. But if you use months in your parameter, you're going to go back to the fifth, the particular month. Okay.
date trunc will return an interval or timestamp rather than a numeric value. Let's stamp date trunc function, as you see here, and get the following results. Or we can truncate the same timestamp using month as the parameter and get this result. Unlike these functions, date trunc will return an interval or timestamp rather than a numeric value.
Interval timestamp. Date trunc is different.
Let's put these new skills to use in the exercises.
Oh, cool. Let's finish this chapter. Chapter 2 of this. Let's go. So let's finish this. We only have one, two, three challenge to solve there. So you can extract and date part to easily create new fields in your queries by extracting subfields from a source timestamp field. Now, suppose you want to produce a predictive model that will help you forecast DVD rental activity by day of week. You could use the extract function with the now definitely low field or null field and find in our query to create a new field called day of week as a subfield of the rental date column from the rental table. Wow, that's a lot. You can count the number of records in the rental table for a given date range and aggregate by the newly created day of week column. Get the day of week from the rental dates. Let's call the rental dates. So this is the rental dates. Want to get the day of the week. Then I want to extract. So we should use the extract function there. So let's say extract extract quarter, month, or I want to say day of week. That will be week. That will be week. I can say day of week. Week from that should be from rental date here. Let's enter the day of week. So I'll just 555. Let's see that in action. That's our day of week. Limit to 100. Let's run the code and see. Aha. So day of week will be okay, I got that now. This particular date falls in the year. So we have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Oh, cool. Okay, let's submit that and see. Oh, check the elected code. The check expected though day of week. Oh, the function for we have quarter, year, months. So for day of week is though. Oh, I saw that day of week. That was it means there. So function with the though field identifier in our query. Okay, though field. Let's extract a day of week. Okay, let's run that again. Better. Oh, great. Day of week 2, 2, 2. 24. Trying to figure out the day of week that it falls to, but this is not arranged from lowest to highest. So let's see. So 23rd day of week, okay. Now count the total number of rentals by day of week. Okay, extra day of week from rental dates, which we've done from here. Now, extra day of week as day of week, count number of rentals. You want to count there, number of rentals. We're definitely counting the rental ID. We are grouping it by day of week that we started. Let's count. We can use count star there, or let's use count star. Count star. Let's see if that will work. Day of week zero. Yeah, day of week zero. This is not arranged. We didn't order it by anything. But let's submit that and see. So week zero at 2000. Okay, let's see if we got that. Wow, we got that. So extra day of week, count star rental. Let's go. Simple calculation there. Now let's finish this. So truncate the rental date field by year. So the date trunc function will truncate timestamp or interval data type to return a timestamp or interval at a specified precision. Let's truncate that. Date trunc, that should be date trunc, date underscore trunc, trunc, so truncate rental date by year. So we want to truncate it by year, specify year there, then the rental dates, year. So the year the film was rented. Let's run that really quick. Oh, I'm missing something. I didn't have my year in quotes. Definitely because of that. That's why. Earlier, I didn't have my, oh, I didn't have my do day of week in quotes either. Let's submit that. So this is the rental year. But it's returning the timestamp. Okay, yeah, this is correct. I'm going to return it along with the timestamp of 00. Now modify the previous code to truncate the rental date by month. Oh, okay, by month now. When you truncate the rental date, will it show months? So I'm going to use the date trunc rather, date underscore trunc. I want to do months. Now I want to do the then the rental date. We'll get the months from there. Let's run that and submit. That should be correct. So now you're going to return the months with the timestamp. Exactly, I'm pretty sure. Aha. So I'm still getting the months with timestamp. So let's see what happens when we truncate by day of month. Day of the month. That's quite funny. Day of the month. Is it DOM? I'm not going to be using DOM now. Because day of week was DOW. Let's see. Let's finish this section. It's still loading. Let's see. So now let's see what happens when we truncate by day of month. Okay, let's write our function date underscore trunk. Uh, this is quite funny. Day of the month. Just like DOM. Let's see, day of month. Then the rental date. Let's run that and see. I know there's nothing like day of month. So that should be month. Let me see the AI to use here. Okay, that will be with day. Day of the month. Oh, day of the month. Oh, I'm, I'm not serious there. So day of month is just day, the particular day in that month, which is just the day function here. Exactly. Which is 24, 25. Can see day of the month 24, 25. You see, I figured that out. So the last one, but not the least, is now finally count the total number of rentals by rental day and alias it as rentals. Count the total number of rentals by rental day. Okay, day trunk, day rental day. Count the total number of rentals. Okay, that should just be count star, or that will be count star. Also count the total records there. That will be count star there. Count star as rentals. That's the rentals. Rentals. If you run the code and let's submit that, that should be correct. Aha, we're able to solve those challenges. And finally, this is the last part in this chapter. Let's finish this chapter 2. So the goal is to finish this course, this part of the course this week. Today is Wednesday. We are on track. So now, so extract the day of week from the rental date. Extract the day of week from the rental date and extract the day of the week date part from the rental date. Okay, day of week. That's the extract. Let's see. Extract day of week. That should be do. Like this earlier from rental date. I didn't wrap my day of week in quotes though. Age, return date, the rental date as rental days from rental. Use an interval. So use an interval in the where clause. Select records for the 90-day period starting on hold up. So you use an interval for the upper bound of the rental date. Rental date between cast as what's the alias must is for this one and cast as plus interval. This plus interval 90 days, but use an interval in the where clause to select records for 90 days period starting on 5/1, 2005, starting on the 5th of January 2005, and as what's the alias do you want to use it? So many of the techniques you've learned in this course will use when building queries to extract data for model training. Now let's use some date and time functions to extract and manipulate some DVD rentals data from our fictional DVD rentals store. In this exercise, we are going to extract a list of customers and their rental history over 90 days. We'll be using extracts, date trunk, and age. There's no date trunk here. As this extract here, date trunk and age that you've learned about during this chapter along with some general SQL skills. from the pre-secret to extract a data set that could be used to determine what day of the week customers are most likely to rent a DVD and the likelihood that they will return the DVD late. So the extract day of the week from the rental dates. Quite straightforward. Use an interval in the where clause to select records for 90-day period starting at 90-day period. So where rental day between cars 2015. What alias do you want here now? As timestamp. Is it as timestamp? Let's use as timestamp though. As timestamp. Let's use also as timestamp. Let's see if that should work. Okay, if you extract it, you cast it as timestamp. So one day, day of week, rental day between. We are going to cast this as timestamp, definitely as timestamp. We are going to see plus 90-day period plus 3 month period. Let's submit that. Um, that's correct. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Okay, a study of week days parts. Also understand where the interval. So use okay from the rental days here. We now add 90 days to it to see when they are supposed to return the films. Okay, okay, that's quite hard to understand easily. So finally, use a case statement. Wow. And date trunk to create a new column called past d, which will be true if the rental days is greater than the rental duration. Otherwise, it will be false. What then? Let's solve this. So select first name, leave a space. So this is just leaving a space there, comma, last name as customer name. So once we are leaving a space, this is just uh, using the ampersand to create a space between the first name and the last name. Then the title, then the rental date, extract the day of week part in the rental date. We have extract day of week from rental date as day of week. Age, which is the return date. We are calculating the return date minus the rental date. So the day it was returned and the day it was rented. Okay, this is what is giving us the age, the rental days for those films. This is what I didn't understand earlier. Okay, good. Now use date trunk to get dates from the age function. So okay, case when date trunk, we're going to use date trunk here, date underscore trunk. When day of the week, mm, hold up, this is interval of 1 day. Okay, when date trunk, when the day, what does date trunk does? What am I missing? I'm missing something here. Trying to figure that out. I'm too close. I'm off camera. Where is date trunk? I'm going to see timestamp there. Definitely not timestamp though. Oh, that is quite funny. Uh, so finally, use a case statement and a date from to create a new column called past due. These are past due, which will be true if the rental date is greater than the rental duration. So if the rental case when the rental date, which is from this age function here, oh, this should be age function. Yeah, that's the age function. It's going to calculate the rental dates and the return dates minus the rental dates. It's going to calculate the number of days that the film, the DVD has been rented is greater than the rental duration of 1 day interval. Then two, else false end as past due. So let's see that in action. Aha. So this is just join close there. So let's check that out to see if our calculation is correct. Run our case statement here. Past due. Okay, we know we have a past due which will be false or true. We have two here. So this will be true if greater than the rental duration. If this age here is greater than the rental duration, which is just a day, like the rental duration times 1 day interval. So the rental duration is rental days 1 day, so I just calculated just 1 day, 23 hours, 3 days, 22, so 9 days. It was supposed to be returned. So if you bring the rental days is, let's say something like this two. Rental days 25, 2005, 05, 2004, 24, 05, 2005, and it has 9 days past due, day of week, second. So that's definitely correct, but we have to also bring the return date here because in the rental table, we have the rental date, return date, and last updated, the date it was returned. So let's submit that and see if you are correct. And that is correct. But wait a minute, I need to understand this code. It's not really that big. It's just the two calculation. This is just extracting the day of week. This is giving us the duration, the return date, the rental days for the movie, which is this year, rental days there. This is just calculating the return dates minus the rental dates, the number of days the movie was rented. Then we use a case when to create a new column called past due, which will be true, else false if the rental, if the age, if the rental duration, which is the rental days, is greater than the rental duration that is given for the print. So we check the rental column here. Okay, I think I understand that. Wow. So we completed this part of the course. So I spent like extra 20 minutes here. I'll read this letter. Ooh, that is a lot to consume in an hour. So we are moving to chapter 3, but definitely let's get back to the dashboard. So, so I'm going to stop here today and rest my brain to continue tomorrow. I think I covered a lot today than usual. Yep. Alright, so thanks for staying to the end of the live stream. If you found value in this video, please support the channel by subscribing and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll see you tomorrow on day 41. Do not forget to support, share, thumbs up, like, comment. Also check out the freelance client management course by Benga DBE, my coach, under the YouTube description. Do have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll see you in the next video.